Hello there, welcome to Alchemize Yourself Tarot. Attention is the new spell work. We're going to be doing 2 pick-a-pile paths. When we talk about attention being like spell work, your life is following your intention, not your wishes, not your intentions, but your attention. And the uncomfortable truth is you're casting spells every time you look at something, replay something, or feed something with your focus. So today we're going to be finding out where your energy is actually going and what it's been building without you realizing or being conscious of it. So we're going to be exploring where your attention is currently leaking, what is feeding on your attention, what deserves your attention, what shifts when you reclaim your focus, and your next disciplined focus point. So I'm going to be doing 2 piles here, or 2 cards from the Mystic Healing Oracle, and you can choose which card or path you're feeling drawn to at this time. Pile number 1 is minimizing guilt. Ooh, we have the number 22, which is a master number. So that will be the first path. And then pile 2, path number 2. We have love your body. Ooh, and we have number 21 here. So we kind of have a sequence going on. So I'm going to zoom in and you guys can take a minute to focus your energy on these 2 cards and pick which path you're feeling the most resonant with at this time, where you feel like your attention is going. Because where your energy goes, that's where your life is going to be moving at this time. Okay, so let's get started. And we'll get into your reading. So pile number 1, we have minimizing guilt. Okay, not needing to internalize everything wrong that happens or everything bad that happens to you. Let's see what healing message we have with this pile. Take steps towards noble thoughts, feelings, and actions. While a little bit of guilt can be healthy in letting you know the difference between what is right and wrong, too much guilt can place you in a state of constant self-sabotage, self-harm, sickness, and egoistic, it's all about me attitude. Guilt can either ask you to look at what you feel you have done wrong and create new possibilities of behaving, or encourage you to continue doing the very thing that you feel guilty about. That's an interesting thing. You know, a lot of times we'll feel guilty about something, but we'll continue to do it. If left unchecked, guilt and shame can eat away at your body, manifest as heart disease, all sorts of health problems. This card asks you to evaluate what you feel guilty about and make a decision to change. This may include taking responsibility for your actions and humbly asking someone for forgiveness. Alternatively, you might work on exercising the power of your will and make a decision to stop doing something harmful. You are also encouraged to start taking guiltless time to work on your self-refinement. So your attention is going to be needing to go towards releasing guilt and taking responsibility towards the shifts and changes you want to make, instead of continuing to sabotage, because guilt can be a very sabotaging energy. And it can leak a lot of your time, attention, and energy, right? It's counterproductive. It's not necessarily doing anything to instigate real change. I mean, it can trigger you to make changes when it comes to releasing things, but when you're overly focused on beating yourself up over past mistakes, it's very counterproductive. So right now, your attention is currently leaking. Where is this attention leaking so we can fix it? Ooh, some of you are very much focused on work. You're working on yourselves. You're working on your craft. You're working on your career. Many of you spend a lot of time working, and it's good to be hardworking. But it could be that you're needing to focus on other things. Sometimes we focus on work when we're wanting to avoid certain situations, or we feel guilty when we're spending more time on work and not prioritizing people or pleasure or family, friends, lovers, things like that. So what is feeding this attention? Ooh, the feeding it is, could be that you're putting a lot of work and effort into pursuing somebody emotionally. The Knight of Cups is the knight in shining armor. Some of you are avoiding expressing yourself emotionally, or someone's doing this in regards to you. You're trying to distract yourself from the way you feel. Or it's like you're working really hard so that you can be able to date, have more romance, manifest romance in your life. Needing to be more emotionally available. That can also be a source of guilt. Getting a little bit of like working to distract yourself. What is deserving of your attention? Oops. We have Two of Swords. Well, what's deserving of your attention is that you're needing to make a decision. Something's been blocked here. Somebody's needing to open themselves up. And I think they're using work as an excuse to maybe not enjoy themselves. You know, the Knight of Cups can also be kind of a romantic energy as far as just enjoying yourself, lightening things up a bit, not taking the world so seriously, but you're needing to decide between work or romance at this time. Maybe some of you aren't really emotionally available. You want to be. Some of you have a partner and you haven't been showing that partner attention, or vice versa. You know, the energies can be swapped here, but a decision needs to be made. Are you going to put all your focus on your work, your project, your craft, or are you going to open yourself up to romance, emotional experiences, playfulness, lightheartedness? Two very different energies. Being more loving, more emotionally available to people in your life. And what shifts is, yeah, there's definitely something going on within a home dynamic and stability, you know, bringing more happiness and joy into your home, your family, your partner. And some of you feel really torn. Your focus is being torn. And it could be that your work is very important. You know, work is important. You know, financial stability is extremely important. But there needs to be some sort of balance and harmony between work and being emotionally available to other things, joy, happiness, like being able to just enjoy your life, being able to enjoy the fruits of your labor. So there's kind of a disconnect here going on. And the disciplined focal point is, needing to go, something needs to end, something needs to transform and change here, either within a dynamic or just a pattern that's been repeating. Because I feel like it is creating guilt. You feel like you're not showing up because you're just really busy and you don't have time for a relationship, or you don't have time for your family or friends, or to enjoy your life at this time. So that can be a big source of guilt. So it's not that you don't need to focus on what's important. Work is important, and self-mastery is important. Being detail-oriented is important. But sometimes we can become perfectionists, and then other things suffer. So something's needing to transform and change. Someone definitely here is emotionally closed off or unavailable, not wanting to play. I'm getting all work and no play. And at a certain point, you're going to miss out on certain things, because the Four of Cups is about missing out on an opportunity. Having love offers, maybe even not even just romantic partners, but, family, friends, not really being available, not enjoying yourself, kind of approaching the world from a very me against the world mentality. Some of you are dealing with somebody like this, and you don't understand why they're not wanting to spend time with you or be available to you, or someone's seeing you as this. It's like maybe you are wanting to date, but they don't see you as somebody that has really decided to embrace it or choose it with that Two of Swords. And I will say there are times in our lives where we do have to focus on building ourselves and building our career and things like that. There are times when finances do take priority over relationships. So there's this need, once again, to in order to minimize that guilt, maybe come into balance and harmony with people in your life. But also there are times when your work, it's one of those tricky situations, because sometimes if you're working towards your soul purpose, or like your education or something big, it might be too distracting to be romantic with someone, or wanting to play all the time, or always go out with friends, But Spirit's saying definitely don't close yourself off. Don't miss out on something that could be really great. What is this Eight of Pentacles? Where is this energy leaking? All the energy going into work. Ooh. Could be that you're wanting to save up for a gift. But I'm getting that somebody here is just kind of ignoring the gift. I always see a bouquet as gift, but I also see it as an apology, right? Because a lot of times I associate bouquets with, somebody apologizing to their partner, bringing them flowers, that sort of thing. So there's this desire to save up or work really hard. That way you can relax later, enjoy romance. Queen of Swords. And what's feeding this is the Tower, security and stability. So you're more focused on security and stability than you are romance. And I'm not going to guilt and shame you for that. Like I said, there's, somebody's you're dealing with things. The Tower in the Lenormand is all about contracts, security, stability, tradition, foundations. And with the Six of Spades, this is moving on from something. And that could be feeding a lot of you could be feeding a lot of your attention into releasing the past, rebuilding yourself, restabilizing yourself. And yeah, I'm seeing this Knight of Cups energy as a little bit of a distraction to that, especially if you're working on a specific manifestation. Your manifestation and your attention can actually be like a romance. You do have to become a little obsessed with what you're working on, especially if it's something that you love. So what's deserving of your attention? Something feeling blocked off, wanting to communicate. So there is this need to communicate. Communicate honestly about what you're investing into. Let's say you do have somebody that you're wanting to date, or someone that's showing interest in you, or even a partner. There's a need to communicate. Don't block off being open about this. If there's something that you're needing to focus your energy and time on, be honest about this. Don't block people out. This was over here, because this could, and it landed on the Four of Cups. This could be a blessing, a lucky opportunity for you. So it's like, a lot of times people will understand. They will understand if you have things going on in your life. But it's important to not make people feel like they're unimportant. And when you reclaim your focus, you can reclaim harmony and love. You had that blessing. The blessings are there. And it's going to require reciprocity and balance. Six of Pentacles is all about balancing the scales. That's Six of Diamonds. That's when real luck and abundance really start to flow in, is when your life is in a good flow state. And, going through that process, going through that transformation, making some major life decisions and changes in your life. Yeah, everything's kind of up in the air right now, needing to take the lead. The clouds represent confusion. Is something over? Is something blocked? Some of you, this behavior of blockage or emotional avoidance can cause people a lot of confusion, and then a lot of guilt, you trying to explain yourself. I'm getting somebody here, whether you or a partner, is giving kind of like a mixed signal. And this is all about prioritizing what is your priority and being very clear about that. And if you're going to have a lover in your life, you have to make time for that person. Do they get all your time and focus? No. But you can't close off completely. You can't block it out completely, or that person, you're going to miss that emotional opportunity. Yes, some things may seem really burdensome right now. The Bear, the Ten of Wands, there's like an overbearing energy. And I'm getting that with the Eight of Pentacles and the Tower. It's like there's this need to work through something first. And it's like not having the time to bother with romance. Sometimes the timing is off, especially with new people coming in. And we have toxicity, toxic situations, people. It's time to purge, having a toxic mindset, dead end relationships. Ooh. So some of you are trying to remove dead end relationships that aren't worth your time and your effort. So that can be a big theme here too. If this person's just wanting fleeting, if this relationship's not going anywhere and it's just going to be a distraction, you're needing to make a decision about that, and you're needing to, I'm not saying you should go say, oh, you're toxic or whatever, but you're going to need to set a boundary, especially if someone's demanding a lot of, demanding to be prioritized when it's just not the right time. That would be toxic. Someone being needy or demanding or being just a distraction, or encouraging toxic behaviors that are not conducive to where you want to go. You definitely want to get out of partying, people that just waste your time. I'm not talking about things like that when I talk about prioritizing relationships, but this can lead to guilt too if you're constantly being pulled away from what's important. And your home is falling apart, your work is destabilizing, things like that. And also there's a brick wall. Someone could be getting stonewalled here or feeling that way. This is an insurmountable obstacle, blocked for your highest good, not able to make progress, time to do things differently. So yeah, you're putting up a brick wall against anything that's toxic, anything that's going to be a dead end. Some of you realize this. And you may have a partner or a person that doesn't understand that. They don't understand that you're really focusing on removing obstacles, blockages, dead ends, things that, are not going to bring you to where you want to be or make you a better person. I'm going to get one more card here, and then we're going to close you out. Pile 1. This is interesting because you need to be hyper focused, especially if you're in manifestation mode. You have to really be tuned in to what you want, especially in regards to your abundance. And all that other stuff can feel like I'm getting that dating can feel really frivolous or like a waste of time for many of you. Yeah, resumption of power, back to sovereignty, regain strength. Yeah, this is going to put you back in your power, back to sovereignty, regaining your strength, not leaking out energy to people, places, and things that do not serve you. This is going to make you more powerful, more energized. You get rid of a lot of these confusing mixed signals. Someone could be giving you a lot of that. So, pile 1, definitely don't feel guilty for letting certain people go. But also don't feel guilty if you're not prioritizing people over what's important to you. There's definitely a balance that needs to happen here. And also, yeah, this 4 of Cups can go either way. You have to decide what you're going to be emotionally invested or what you're going to be emotionally available to. And it's certainly not going to be with toxic, time-wasting people. Thank you for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. We're going to move to pile 2. Clear the deck. Clear the deck. And we're going to be talking about love your body. I'm going to kind of hide the top part. I'm getting right off the bat for you, pile number 2, that you're needing to have, really start taking care of your physical body. Not feel ashamed based on societal standards of beauty. Some of you are really health focused at this time. You're wanting to beautify yourself. You're wanting to, but make sure you're coming from a very healthy place, because it is important for your body to be healthy in order for your spirit to be healthy. I'm going to just clear the energy. Number 21. And that breaks down to a 3, so I'm getting strong Empress, Venusian energy, Venus. Focusing on health, maybe even your sensuality, getting in tune and grounded in your body is so important. A lot of times, create a new perception of your body. How do you feel about your body? Do you constantly critique it, or do you listen to it and lovingly nourish it and cherish it? Any consciously or unconsciously harbored feelings of self-repulsion, rejection, frustration, anger, and guilt will start to weaken various parts of your body. You are being asked to tune in and work on creating a healthy inner environment. What if you could see your physical body as the most incredible, divine, perfectly designed part of you, a place that houses your soul? From that perspective, what food, drink, thoughts, feelings, even relationships would you entertain? When you let go of the painful, traumatic experiences that have caused you to feel unsafe, start to create healthy boundaries and begin to understand more about your divine nature. Your body will become stronger, healthier, and more beautiful. I love that message. And it's not superficial. It's so important to take care of yourself. You're going to be in a better state of mind. You're going to feel more confident. You're going to be stronger and live longer. So where is your energy? But you don't want to be into toxic distortions about your body. I think that's an important message here too. You don't want to leak your attention into over focus on external perceptions of the body and only care about that. There's more depth to it than that. So where is your energy leaking? Ooh, Justice. Ooh. So you could be working on making something fair, making something right. Some of you are going through a legal battle. You're dealing with contracts. You're dealing with things that need to be set straight, made fair. And definitely, that's very specific, but if you're going through a legal battle, that can take a lot of time and energy. We'll see what else unfolds, but yeah, your energy is definitely leaking when it comes to fairness and justice and balance. What is feeding your attention at this time? What is feeding it? Oh, your emotions. Balancing your emotions. This could be head over heart. Sometimes what's fair is different than what we feel about a situation. So you definitely have a lot of feelings about what's fair, just, and right, what's truth for you. But you feel very emotionally attached to this. This is something that you care a lot about. And the Queen of Cups upright suggests that you're doing this from a place of love. It's very heart-centered. You're wanting to do the right thing. What is deserving of your attention, though? Oh, well, your family, your happiness. Some of you are really focused on what's going to make everybody happy. And I'm not saying this just specifically from a people-pleasing point of view. You want to make sure that your home is happy, that the people you care about are happy, family. You want to do what's right for them, first and foremost. And also, you want to make sure you're balanced. Like, don't do this at the expense of your own health, right? I'm going to put a little coverage here. I'm going to say this. A lot of times when you're focused on loving your family and keeping everybody happy and comfortable. Sometimes that can come at the expense of your health. So that's an important message here too. Queen of Cups is the most self-sacrificing of the queens, because the Queen of Cups is very emotionally invested in the people they care about. What shifts when you reclaim your focus? King of Cups. You're going to be in a balanced partnership, a loving partnership. I think there's going to be a lot of love here when you do the right thing and you focus on the people that are important to you. But I think it's going to open up the heart of this King of Cups. Maybe this King of Cups has their back turned to you. Maybe something has been unbalanced. And you're needing to think of the greater good. So it's not about submitting or relinquishing your power. It's about getting into balance and fairness. There could be some self-sacrifices being made here. Your next disciplined focus is, one day at a time. Take your time. It doesn't happen. And some of you are trying to balance, just like with pile number 1, there needs to be this balance between keeping other people in your life happy, your family, your friends, your lover, and then taking care of yourself. It takes work. It takes time. It's not easy. But many of you are trying to do the right thing in regards to the people in your life. But you also, in order to love others, you have to love yourself. And that's a big lesson of the Queen of Cups. You can only love others as much as you're capable of taking care of yourself, loving yourself. Everything is upright here. So you're in a very beautiful energy. You have your priorities right. This is about keeping your priorities and your heart in the right place. Your energy, this lucky new beginning, something lucky. And with the 6 of Diamonds, that's all about balance. Balance between loving yourself and loving the people in your life. So something lucky, and we have that rainbow. So some of you are going to come into a period of healing and renewed hope, renewed love, a resurgence of feelings. What's feeding this? What's feeding this? Well, we have obstacles, but this is all about overcoming obstacles, taking action, putting in the work. It's not enough to just love. You also have to find ways to remove any sort of challenges when it comes to your happiness. You're trying to overcome something. You're trying to have a lucky breakthrough as well. And it's like love can build a bridge. I'm getting that with the rainbow. Love can build a bridge between your heart and mind. I just got that song. Maybe that's the obstacle, is creating a bridge, creating a resolution, something that's going to work for everybody involved. And what deserves your attention is, finding a solution, working towards a solution. Key, unlocking something, having the key to, it's like once you go through this obstacle, once you create that bridge to the other side, you're going to unlock, or you're going to be given a solution, the key. You're going to be given access to great happiness, great luck, and abundance. And something's going to be shifting in your partnership is what I'm getting. What's going to be shifting here? Yeah, you're going to be getting communication. And there's that rainbow again. Restored hope. Someone's going to open up and tell you how they feel. And they're going to want happiness. The stork represents a blessing, a new beginning. And there's that Queen of Cups. Someone's going to feel very loving and tender towards you. And it's like, this is somebody that loves that you're dealing with your own thing too. You're focusing on what's important to you. You're prioritizing the people that you love. And I think it's opening your partner up to more loving feelings, like wanting to be vulnerable, wanting to reach out, wanting to communicate, wanting to resolve any blockages the two of you have. And I like the Knight of Pentacles out of all the Knights, because the Knight is all about someone, yes, it's slow moving, but the Knight of Pentacles is very grounded. They plant seeds and they water them and they cultivate them, and it can turn into something very beautiful. A very, the Knight of Pentacles thinks long term. They're not as impulsive. So the discipline is that great things are worth that time and effort. Yep, we have the Gentleman. Yeah, you definitely have somebody opening up their heart to you. And there's been a lot of hidden feelings here. Maybe you thought that you were going to have to walk away from this person, or that this person was detached, that they had blocked you, that they didn't want to move towards you. But I don't see that as being the case at all. I see this as somebody that's really wanting to open up to you, because you're focused on creating justice in your life. You're dealing with karma, and you're thinking about it from a long-term goal. You're looking at the big picture. You're thinking about the people that you love. And that's always going to open you up to more love. We have isolation, being emotionally removed. Okay. Choosing to be alone, recharging your mind and body, introspective. Yeah, I'm getting a strong message that maybe you closed somebody off because you had to focus on yourself. Queen of Cups is very emotional. Sometimes you have to emotionally remove yourself from a situation for a while. This is a point of recharging and taking care of yourself. It goes back to that body card. And yeah, the Queen of Cups is in danger of overgiving for sure. So sometimes you have to just take some space, focus on yourself, choosing to be alone. Somebody's going to reach out when you focus on yourself, but in a good way, right? Maybe this person wasn't as available to you before. And I'm seeing a major shift when you focus on self-love. It's kind of magical that way. And it's the waiting game. Waiting for something or someone, expecting to hear news, putting your life on hold, prepared, ready, and waiting. So you're focusing on what's important to you. So don't put your life on hold. I think it's making you more romantically attractive when you're focusing on yourself and the people that are important to you. You're going to hear good news too. That letter, that communication is coming in. But it's when you shift the energy back into what's important. I love that for you guys. And then we have Snake, time of healing. Yeah, snakes are times of transformation, shedding your old skin, secret knowledge, jealousy, and envy. I think it's like you're creating intrigue, because this is a time of transformation and healing for you. Yeah, the secret knowledge is that key. So you're accessing higher wisdom, higher knowledge. tuning into your body. I'm also getting like balancing your chakras. It's not enough to just be intuitive and spiritual. You need to get grounded, and that's going to open you up to a major transformation. I'm going to get one more card, and then we're going to close out our 2 pile, 2 path. Pick a card. Let's see, one more card for you guys. Let's see what else wants to come out. We have Bacchus. Unrestrained feast, pleasure. Oh gosh. Someone wants to wine and dine you. And we have all these cups. Be careful. You could be having somebody come in that really wants to pleasure you. This could be a very lucky breakthrough. Memento mori. Oh, I got this somewhere else. This says, time is fleeting, now or never. Yes, someone's going to feel very restless to wine and dine you is what I'm getting. So I hope you enjoyed this pick-a-pile, and I hope it resonated with you guys, and I hope you like, share, and subscribe. And I definitely want to share time and energy with you again. Bye.